The goal is not to unstuck yourself forever. It's to recognize that, raising that awareness, I'm stuck, homie. And then recognizing, but I'm a bad, I am so capable. Hey, peeps, you have entered the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast, where I have intentional conversations that raises your awareness, which releases your innate abilities and leads you to purposeful action. You know there's more to life and you're worthy of it, and yet you feel stuck. This is your sign. Unstuck Yourself with me, Crystal Simmons, certified coach, corporate facilitator, and dope human being. I'll be here every week. Will you? Hey, peeps. Welcome back. I missed y'all. It is the 54th episode for the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast. Y'all, we made it. We made it, homies. A whole season, a whole year, a whole podiversary celebration. And it's all because of you and me. So I want to thank us for showing up, showing out, sharing, listening, providing feedback, riding this thing out. The wheels did not fall off, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm just very overjoyed and thankful for this moment because, drum roll, we taking a break, peeps. It is time to celebrate and chill. And what better way to do that than to be able to reflect on all that we actually went through and accomplished and learned from and grew from, to really pause and not have that constant thought process of, what can I talk about next? What about this? Somebody said this. This seems like something that we can touch on. Not doing that. And recognizing that I have given a lot, and I'm thankful that I get to say, I want to pause. And I'm getting a phone call. Y'all hold, please. I don't even know how that's happening. Either way, just wanted to say, we did it. And I could not have done it without y'all. This whole podcasting journey has provided me with so much confidence and assurance that I can do anything that is tugging at my heart, that is tugging at my skills to share, to expand, to connect, to collaborate. And we'll take it back a little bit. December the 1st, 2021 is when the podcast was released. And I remember recording in my closet because, that's what I was told that other people who were very successful with their podcast did to start with. So it gave me the confidence to say, okay, I'm not just making shit up. I can actually do this and do it very successfully. And you will notice as we did the Run It Back series with the 3 episodes that were most listened to or played or impactful, the sound quality. Big difference from then and now. And having that side-by-side view and hearing it, it was so comforting. I was so proud of myself for doing it any effing way. I don't feel any shame. I don't feel any guilt. I don't feel any way of, that didn't sound too good. I didn't care. I did it. And I want that to just be the theme of today's episode, of recognizing where we have come from, wherever your journey has been in 2022, and then reflecting on what do you want it to feel like in 2023. And going back, starting the podcast, sharing the podcast, having people pour into me when I needed it the most, when shame, doubt, and fear were creeping. It has been this exchange of energy, and that is what life is all about. That is why I'm so drawn to collaboration, because of that back and forth. Me being like, hey, I do have a podcast. Yes, I am a certified coach. Yes, I am a corporate facilitator. Yes. And I still need help and I still get stuck. The goal is not to unstuck yourself forever. It's to recognize that, oh, raising that awareness, I'm stuck, homie. And then recognizing, but I'm a bad, I am so capable. Like all these things that have challenged me, that have made me feel uncomfortable, it was not for nothing. So my abilities are infinite. I'm going to take action. And even if we're talking about celebrating the pod anniversary, my action is to unapologetically relax. Unapologetically celebrate all that I did and chill. I'm so excited to chill. And I'm welcoming those thoughts of, oh, maybe I can bring this up in 2023, but just jotting it down on my phone in my notes section and letting it sit and marinate and still relaxing and chilling. And that could be the same for you. And it doesn't have to be a pod anniversary that you're doing it for, but acknowledging 2022 is coming to an end. 2022 has been a bitch. She's been real disrespectful. He's been out of line. And what are we learning from that? And what do we want to gain or take and then bring into 2023? And what do we want to leave and be like, thank you, no thank you. I learned my lesson. I got it. I don't need that shit no more. Don't bring that shit up no more. And that's what makes me so excited to look back, starting off December the 1st, 2021, and to now, when you hear this podcast, the next day will be a whole year. Whether you listen to a couple of episodes, whether you've been listening to them straight through, where were you when you first start listening to the podcast in your life, in your career, in your relationships? I would bet money that you are not the same you from December 2021 into now. Snap that, celebrate that. That's what this life is all about. And the fact that we get to do this together and you get to acknowledge that you're not by yourself, come on. I'm learning too. I'm growing too. And I have some oh shit moments as well. So I'm do a little shout out to a listener. Her name is Amanda. She's from Doa Outdoors. She was our hiking guide for my husband's birthday in August of 2022. And she had mentioned on one of the episodes she had listened to, she was like, OMG. I've just got to be a fangirl for a second. Caught the first 20 minutes of your most recent episode, and congratulations on the facilitation. I know it'll go great, and I love when you said in that episode, my word is my command. And I was like, oh shit. That was her response. Thank you, Amanda. I had shared my first corporate facilitation, massive amount of people, and it was beautiful. I grew. The people I had the chance to interact with grew in real time. Like I saw them, minds, eyes, like, oh, I get it. Or, oh, let me think about that. That's that awareness that's growing. That is the purpose of all of this. The podcasting, the coaching, the facilitation, increasing that awareness. Crystal Triple A's is awareness, abilities, action. Yeah. Come on. Don't forget Crystal's Triple A's in anything. I mentioned we're taking a break. And this is a time for you to go back, listen to old episodes. You can start from the beginning and really recognize how much you have changed. And maybe you have forgotten a lot of the gems that were dropped because I was dropping gems. I'm not even gonna lie. And the dope guests that I had on, gem dropping non-stop. So take that in. Because how many times do we have to hear things over and over and over again for it to really hit and sink in? One won't do it. One might pique your interest, but maybe the third or fourth time you actually start putting those items into action where you're intentional Like even when Amanda said, I had mentioned on the podcast, I said, your word is your command. If you say I can't do something, your wish is your command. If you say, I don't want to do something, that is your command. And acknowledging like anything that comes out of my mouth. If you feel as though you made a mistake, if you feel as though you've done something quote unquote bad, and you start judging yourself like, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. Your words are your command. Acknowledge that. And what are you able to do? Recognize I did the best I could, but I was tired. I did the best I could, but I was hungry. When I get hangry, I'm not functioning properly. So we are doing the best we can in those moments. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a caretaker, whether you're just living life, going to work, taking care of yourself. That's work. So do yourself a favor. Even though we're going on break, you can always refer back to the old episodes. They will be there forever. All right. And I also wanted to add, when you listen back and maybe you didn't pick up some of the gems that were dropped back then, you might hear them now. And that's typically what tends to happen when we're not quite ready. Our mind or our meter or our intuition is just, it's like speaking a different language to our soul. And so with growth and experience and just living more life, you then get to see yourself like quickly grabbing a hold of those gems and implementing them quicker to enhance your life and to enhance just your experience with other people at work and relationships. So be mindful of that. Give yourself grace. You got this. Oh, and I'm hungry. I don't know if y'all heard my stomach growl. Now is the time for us to mosey on into the Crystal Town update, which is my favorite. And I'm sorry y'all didn't get this. I'm bringing it back. What have I been doing? Let's start with the dopest and the most entertaining thing. I went to San Diego, California for the first time. And guess what? I want to move there. So that's that. If you're wondering how I went, that's how I went. If I take it back to before we actually went to San Diego, I told everybody I was going to San Diego. And when I say everybody, like everybody. And their response was, oh my gosh, you're going to love San Diego. Oh my gosh, I love San Diego. And y'all, they were not lying. I loved it. Even looking at Airbnbs, since we went in November, I was mindful of, do I want to stay on the beach to see the water? Because I love water. Or do I want to be in the city where we could just walk to different shops and restaurants? I didn't realize how much work I put into this trip until we got there and we were passing different shops and I was telling my husband about them. And I coined him like a researcher. He loves doing research, looking up stuff. And he was like, you've really done a lot of research. And I was like, who, me? Oh, shit. The researchers calling me a researcher. I dig it. And I acknowledged that and didn't realize I have been doing a lot of work. I had so many Airbnbs saved up in comparison of, do I want to do this? Or what do I want it to feel like? What do I want it to look like? And my husband did the same thing. And the place where we stayed, that was actually on his list and my list as well. So that was pretty dope that we picked the same spot. And it was beautiful. It gave harbor view, so I got to see the water. And then on the opposite side of the Airbnb, we got to see the city. We were up so high. That's what it felt like. I got to see the planes coming in. And you couldn't even really hear the planes, which was surprising to me. Even if I did, I was like, I'm gonna thug it out. Like, this view is like gorgeous. And the location, we were in Little Italy. Oh my gosh. The food. So good. Everything was so good. We went to Old Town Mexico. We went to Gaslamp District. No complaints. None. Never. Nope. Nada. Like, seriously. And while we were there, I made an effort probably a couple weeks ago before the trip. I told myself I want to do actions and some activities that I would do here in Richmond. So I found a pole dancing studio in San Diego. And luckily, I hit up the studio, asked them based on my experience and my level, what class would they recommend with the days that I'm staying there. They emailed me rather quickly, and I was able to sign up for the class. I went to the class. I took an Uber solo dolo like I would if I was in Richmond. Well, I would drive myself. And y'all, the fact that when I entered the studio, feeling a little, not even uncomfortable, because I went on Google Maps. I looked at images on the website so I could, make sure I know where the building is, how to get in. And they had a key code that I had to use. And I just kept looking over that. I put it in my phone. So preparing myself for the unknown, I knew a lot. So I didn't go in there just blind. And that brought me comfort. So then all I had to do was just focus on my skills. And the class itself was the studio was beautiful. The instructor was dope. The other ladies that were in the group were helpful and exciting. They wished me happy birthday because we went around and told our names. And I told the instructor, her name is Tessa. I told her, she was like, I'm really bad at names. So if I forget your name, don't worry about it. And I was like, look, my name is Crystal. I'm from Virginia. And no worries if you forget my name, because you probably won't see me again. And at the end of the class, she actually said, Crystal from Virginia. There's no way I could forget that. Matter of fact, most people should say, don't worry about it. You can forget my name. And that helps me remember it, which I thought was really dope. And I most definitely will go back. So it was a cool moment. It was a dope moment. And the skills that she shared for that level 1 class actually enhanced the skills I was learning here in Richmond. So it was different, but it was the same, which is refreshing. And it built my confidence even more. Matter of fact, I told myself, because I got so close to reaching the top of the pole in Richmond in one of the classes, I surprised myself when I did that a couple weeks ago. So I was like, when I go to San Diego, I'm touching the top. And y'all, I touched the top. I touched the top of the pole. And I climbed up. And I did it early in the class because that is tiring. Pole dancing is very exciting and it's very effective to get a very intentional workout. So yeah, I also went thrifting. Shout out to Marwa. She was a young lady I met in a friend gathering. I'll probably have her on the podcast next year to talk about traveling and things of that nature, because she also eased my just being uncertain of where to go, what's the best places to go. She put together this beautiful itinerary. Her and my husband and I got on a phone call, and I just expressed the things that I wanted to be able to do. And thrifting was on the list, going to Black-owned restaurants, some attractions. And she put together this colorful itinerary of thrift stores, nightlife options, which we didn't use, attractions to visit, brunch, lunch, dinner, Black-owned restaurants, hiking options. We didn't get to do that either. However, being able to research those locations made me even more excited. And then it also enhanced my ability to visualize myself in San Diego even before I got there. And I want to put a exclamation point on that. Being able to visualize what you want, and you might hear people say, live it now, like treat it as you're doing it now. For me, I have recognized it is actually seeing the pictures. It is actually going to Google, doing a search, going to their website, envisioning myself walking into that establishment, or looking at the menu items. Which one would I eat? I wonder what it tastes like. When I tell you, this is the first time I have fully given myself to visualization and I got to feel the outcome of it, hands down, very effective, very powerful. And I'm thankful for that. As I say that, I didn't realize it. We do that in coaching as well. And it makes sense now. It's like, I get it. I cried, I don't know how many times on my birthday in San Diego, out of feeling the abundance and the love and the support from people texting me and just being where I envision myself being. Who here listening has done that for themselves? And if you haven't, are you willing to do that for yourself? It can start now, where you might have some type of job that you're applying for. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it's venturing out to a whole different field. Thinking about that, what does that look like? What does your office look like? What do your coworkers look like? How do you envision yourself speaking when you're presenting? What are you wearing? What's the smell of your office? What's the feel of your lounge or lunchroom? It's so powerful because when you get there, you're not in your head of, oh, it's got to be this way. You've already felt it, so you get to experience it. And when you're in the now, in the present, it brings about other opportunities, like people sharing tips or giving us suggestions of where we can go. And if I bring it back to thrifting, y'all, the thrift stores are amazing. Like, I racked up to the point where I had to ship shit home by UPS because it was not going to fit in my bag. It just wasn't. And I was thankful for that. So I want to really stress this to myself, and y'all can just overlisten or overhear. Visualizing where I want to be and experiencing that now and speaking that now and sharing that with other people. My goal is to move to San Diego within the next 5 years, giving myself time, realistic time to build my business, to seek a full-time position so that I can do more traveling. I got places to see. Like, I have been bitten, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not letting it go. I'm letting it run through my veins. Life is abundant. Life is to be experienced and just loved up on, deciding what you like, what you don't like. I love it. All right. So also on my birthday trip, want to give a shout out to my husband. Don't know if he'll listen to this, but I still want to do it. He too did something that he would do here in Richmond. He went to an open mic in San Diego, and it was amazing. He killed that shit. Just to give you a reference point, here in Richmond, the open mic scene, comedy scene, it's okay. If he goes to an open mic, it's probably about 15 comics there. Might be a couple people in the crowd. And when we went to an open mic in San Diego, it was on a Thursday. And the host of the open mic said that he would have to go in, sign up. He goes to the list. Y'all, the list has 63 peeps on the list. 63. Each comic gets 3 minutes. The host jumps up in between to thank the previous comic and then introduce the next comic. So maybe like 5-6 minutes per person to do the next 63. And the host told Devon, you're going to be waiting a while because we were out of town. No one knew us. And I leaned over to Devon. I was like, he's going to be mad if he leaves you at the end and you go up. Y'all, I apologize if y'all can hear my stomach. I'm really hungry. I'm going to eat right after this. And luckily, Devon said he kind of felt it, that he would go up sooner. Apparently, the people who signed up, there were a couple of people who weren't there, even though they were in the line. So they stuck Devon in probably like an hour after we had been there. And just to let you know, the comics who went before him, they were all funny. I thought, 63 people doing open mic. Shit, I might take a nap. That's a long time. And it was late, the time difference, like it was a whole thing. And he went up, took pictures, he recorded himself and killed. Like people in the audience were laughing, and it was so dope to experience and do that together. I love it. Like it's no words. So yeah, San Diego has my heart forever and ever. We went to La Jolla Cove on the last full day. I got to hug a tree. I posted pictures of it. I went sailing on a yacht for my birthday, which was just magical. We got to see pelicans. We got to see seals. We had some dope ass like box lunch. Like it was so good. There was a local cafe where they use real ingredients and they're not even blinking at the idea or thinking of the idea of cheapening out on their ingredients. And it shows. And I appreciate that. So yeah, San Diego trip, 100 out of a 10. No lie. So let's get into what's next for Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast. I'm happy to say we will take a 6-week break to, like I said, reflect and chill. And I want to be able to really be intentional in regards to what do I want the next season to hold? Because I like a challenge. I most recently heard, I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to share it with you. I recently heard a saying of, if you're in a situation where your skills are not being utilized or challenged, you may feel bored or stuck. I'm finding that as I get older, as I experience more life, as I want more, as I am really creating abundance of joy, abundance of peace, like there is no limit of, I'm pretty peaceful today. Tomorrow I don't have to. No, I want it all. I want to provide that in the podcast realm too. And I want to talk about the things that challenge me, that I feel that I'm not an expert in, and still have experience. I still have an opinion. And I'm looking forward to that. That allows me to not feel stuck and also allows me to grow and be like, I'm about to try some shit and we'll see what happens. Who gives an F? No one can judge me but me. So I'm gonna let myself fly free. I don't know why that rhymes, but it does. Next year, 2023, I want to push the bar and challenge myself to speak on topics that I would normally shy away from. Because the feeling of, I'm not really an expert. Shit, I'm 40. That's good enough. You know what I mean? Like, I've lived this life. I've lived as being me and tapping into who I really am. And I keep hearing the sense of being authentic versus belonging. And I am definitely pushing the abundance of authenticity and saying, fuck the belonging. And speaking up on that. And learning how to do it gracefully and not be so abrupt with it. That's my challenge. Starting 2 days ago. I'm really excited, y'all. It has been more than I even envisioned. And as I say that, I can honestly say I didn't look at what the future will hold with podcasting. It was only about 6 feet in front of me of, I need to actually figure out a title. I need to figure out how I'm going to record. I need to figure out how I'm going to edit. Not what is the impact? And I really want to take these 6 weeks of what is the impact I want to expand on. What is the message I want to be about that allows me to be my authentic self? And to bring along little Crystal on the ride, And then Future Crystal, too. Ooh, hey, Future Crystal. That's the first time I said that, and I felt that shit. Damn. Oh, that's good. That's good. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now. Peeps, it has been a pleasure. I am honored and I'm thankful to be your host of the UnStuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast. And I cannot wait to come back January 2023 and bust it wide open, all right? So sending you love and light through this mic as you write your unstuck questions and gems to turn your actions into wins. Until then, peeps, stay unstuck. Bye. Bye.
Foresight Media Production.